The other side.
And now, a socially speaking commentary by Perry Red from the other side of the tracks.
The other side.
I just want to take a minute to share with you our commentary from the other side of the tracks. Well, here we are again, and it feels like I'm making the same argument, but I'm not. This time, he's the traitor-in-chief. Not that he hasn't been a traitor before. I mean, his propping up Vladimir Putin, his complimenting the Philippines' Duarte. He's been a despot and admires despots. But here, he's a traitor. And what am I talking about? Well, of course, your so-called President Donald Trump, doing what he does well and does best. Lie like a rug. Now, you know the story. A contingent of House members were to visit Israel. And from what I understand, they're on the Foreign Relations Committee, I guess. But they're visiting Israel. And two of our representatives, Representative Ilhan Omar and Representative Rashida Tlaib, two Muslims, the first Muslims, well, not the first Muslims, the first female Muslims, to be elected to the United States Congress, demonstrating this country's diversity, this country's acceptance of all. Well, they were to visit with this contingency of House members. And these two congresswomen have been banned, and the word banned just, it defies all logic, but they've been banned from visiting Israel with this contingency representing the United States. Keep in mind, they've been duly elected to this country. And it's not because Israel did it. It's because your so-called President Donald Trump, he gave all indications and even basically a command to deny these two representatives from visiting Israel because he says they're an enemy of Israel. Guess what? Israel's not the United States. And obviously, Donald Trump is not for the United States. He's the same one when running for the presidency in 2016. He claimed America will always come first. America first.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
But you know what? This country has held so tightly to the Constitution, and the conservatives of this country and the libertarians of this country they've held on to the Constitution like a grudge. Except when it comes to the free speech of others. Yeah, picture that. Yeah, when Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar speak clearly and decisively the truth about Israel's influence on our government, on our foreign policy, then they are called out of order. Now, I don't know if it's a black thing, but I do know this. They're Americans. They've been duly elected by the people according to the Constitution of this country, and you got your so-called president who makes every effort to stifle the speech of those who have a darker hue in their skin. Funny how that happens. He did the same thing to the NFL players. He condoned folks like Laura Ingraham, the conservative radio talk show host, who told LeBron James, the NBA superstar, to shut up and dribble.
The number one job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a about the people.
The NBA. And it's always unwise to seek political advice from someone who gets paid $100 million a year to bounce a ball. Oh, and LeBron and Kevin, You're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
Here's the same thing happening. On top of that, this so-called president, he's the one who tweeted his admonishment of Ilhan Omar and suggested to Israel that they ban him, because Israel wasn't doing it at first. But then, they turned around and did it. And then he says this in a tweet. And first of all, he's a coward because he puts out statements through social media, by electronic means, because when he does that, and if indeed it is such an egregious error, he can always say, I didn't tweet that. He did it last year. You might remember when Ty Cobb was his lawyer. That's one of the reasons why Ty Cobb quit. Everybody who Donald Trump touches, everyone he surrounds himself with, ends up indicted. And a lot of folks leave because they don't want to be the next one. And listen here, this is what he said. He said, I don't want to comment about who I spoke to, but I think my social media statements pretty well speak for itself. Well, guess what? As of me speaking to you right now, he walked that back and said he never said it. This is what I know about your so-called president. He's not the kind of guy who will lie to your face and tell you he didn't say what you just heard him say. He is the guy who will lie to your face and tell you he didn't say what you just heard him say. For that reason, and that reason alone, he's a traitor not only to this country, but he's a traitor to you. You must understand that if he is so courageous, so audacious to lie like that in the highest office of this country on matters so mundane, matters so inconsequential, imagine what he will lie about. Something that is substantial, detrimental, something that would mean your life. Listen, he's done it again and again, so we're not surprised. But what we are surprised about is this, is that this in-your-face incident, this only confirms what we know about this so-called president's past racism, the way he's maligned the squad. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Representative Ayanna Pressley, Representative Ilhan Omar, and Representative Rashida Tlaib. He is a rat. That's the only way you can put it. No one could be so undignified. No one could drag the office of the presidency through the mud as aptly as a child. Because that's what he acts like. Now, Trump, he began the day by tweeting in favor of banning the congresswomen from visiting Israel. He said this, and don't be surprised, it would show great weakness of Israel if Israel allowed Representative Omar and Representative Tlaib to visit. He tweeted that. Later on in the day, he said he didn't say it. He said that they hate Israel and all Jewish people, and there's nothing that can be said or done about that. Listen, first of all, he don't know what they hate, but he should know what they should hate, and that's him. But, and here's the deal. Again, you got a so-called president who will insult the people of this country, the representatives, the duly elected representatives of this country. And if you're talking about a representative that represents, 300,000 people or so, he's insulting and degrading and diminishing all of them. He's done it before, he'll do it again. You make sure that you understand that even if a Republican is in the presidency, that Republican needs to be a person of great dignity. It is such an insult to allow an undignified rat of a person to represent you on the world stage. Let me just tell you, Democrats, you're not off the hook, all right? Because the Democrats are also responsible when Nancy Pelosi allowed the mainstream Democrats to censure Representative Ilhan Omar, that just opened the gates for Trump to do the same. It gave him permission to degrade and diminish our representatives in the lower chamber. So, Democrats, you better watch yourself. Listen, what he's doing to the immigrants coming from Central America, what he's done to degrade and diminish the humanity of the people of Africa, what he's done to our people right here in this country. And I'm not talking about just black people, I'm talking about all Americans. You should be up in arms. I'm encouraging you in 2020 to vote, and not for Donald Trump. So here's the bottom line. The economy is not doing as well as he brags about. He's going all around the country with his rallies, but we're on the brink of a recession. His trade policies have turned out to be that of children. Yes, an immature child could do better. His attacks on the people of this country, the representatives of this country, is no greater than appalling. It is as low as you can go in the office of the presidency. But you just hold on to your horses, because one thing about Trump, the Traitor-In-Chief can go just a little lower. He does that every single day.
The other side.
And that was a Socially Speaking commentary by Perry Red from The Other Side of the Track.
The other side.
The other side of the track. Red Media.